Well, I meant to do a video last night, but I'll be completely honest. I had a couple of drinks last night after the sale. I was so pumped. I think it's more of a stress release. You know, you come to a sale like this, and it's just so stressful. Again, you're judged next summer, so there's not that immediate judging of whether you did good or not. But, you know, I want to do the best I can, and I want to pick out the proper horses. Then, you know, even Amy, after the first night, saying, you know, we got a lot of New Jersey horses, and I said, well, honey, you know, I want the best horse for the least amount of money. And, you know, if we're going to look at the best sires, they are in New Jersey right now. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, the Kentucky, you know, the Kentucky angle is there. And there wasn't a lot of Pennsylvania horses on day one, and it's certainly not that we could afford it, that we really wanted. So I didn't go there thinking we'd buy 5. I thought Una Madonna, and I showed you guys the video. That was my filly. It was so weird too today. We were coming down to the lobby. We're on our way out to look at a horse right now privately. And I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, so I'll talk about it later. I'll circle back to this horse later in the week. But we're on our way out to, is it Paris? No, outside of Paris, Kentucky, to look at a yearling, a sister to a horse we had. It was a good horse. So, that's kind of a teaser, right? People are going to be asking me all day now what horse it is. I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, that's not nice.
No. You know, it's very stressful. And then I got Una Madonna, and that, especially for what we got her for, it was so weird. I was sorry, we were getting off the elevator today, and the gentleman in the elevator with his wife, I knew it was maybe Amish or whatever, but I felt that I knew him, and I introduced myself. He didn't know who I was, so clearly we'd never met. And he said that he was going to the sale, and I said, oh, my wife and I are going to the sale too. I said, you know, are you guys selling or buying? He goes, oh, my brother and I, a little bit of both. We bought Mission Brief's sister last night. Really? Wow. I said, you know, we're not, it's a little much for us. I said, you know, maybe someday, who knows? I said, but, you know, so I tried to explain, you know, we're trying to buy horses in a value-based way, and we're not really after Mission Brief. Not, you know, it's nice to say we were. It would be great to have her, but, and he goes, I said, the most we've ever spent was, you know, 115 last year on a colt, who actually turned out pretty good so far. And then the one filly I really, really wanted, I said, it's been so long since I fell in love with a horse, looking at the video, looking at the pedigree page, and actually wanting to go immediately to the sale. When Amy and I got here the other day, the sale was closed. You could still go in and look, but there was no one there. And I went to Una Madonna's stall. I didn't tell you guys this. I went to her stall, and I looked in her stall. She had her blanket on. I said, gee, she looked a little small, which I was happy about, because now I'm thinking, no, we're going to get her for sure. Well, the stalls must be down a little bit, because the next day when they pulled her out to view her, I'm like, this isn't the same horse. This one's much bigger. So I told the gentleman, I said, you know, we bought a filly on day one for 100, and I fell in love with her immediately when I saw her. He goes, which one? I said, number 71, Una Madonna. He goes, that's my filly. I said, no, that's my filly. And he goes, that's my brother's filly. I said, oh, you guys are Buckstone. And he goes, yeah, our partner and I, or him and another guy, are Buckstone. I said, wow, that's a small world. Literally in an elevator, but I guess we're a mile from the sale. So I was so happy we got this filly. We ended up buying the filly I wanted. It happened in Ohio. I told you guys this, so it happened in Ohio where I got the one I wanted, but I didn't fall in love with her. I just thought that was the best horse in the sale. You know, she wasn't a horse I had to have at all costs. Una Madonna, there was something there. It's weird, eh?
This is a hospital.
I don't want to tell you. It's telling us to go through the Bourbon Community Hospital. Why is this place doing what? Must be a road going around it. This must be a little hillbilly road around it or something.
See?
Well, I don't want to tell you. What GPS?
You don't? You don't know what to tell me?
Amy hates when I say that. So,
I just don't think there's any horses turned out.
Well, this is horse country, honey. It's the horse racing capital of the world right here. So, just something about that filly, and I could be wrong, but just something about that filly I wanted really, really bad. And to get her for what we had a budget, you know, and I'll tell you quite frankly, I said this yesterday, I believe, when she was going in the ring, I literally looked at Steve Palermo and Rob Coleman were beside me, and I said 320. No shot. You know, I thought that she was a better individual than the one that we didn't even get to bid on that went for 200. And that was back in hip number 39. It started to get really hot after hip 50, 60. They all started to go really high. You know, at this point, now I'm a little depressed. I'm like, those are my two top picks. The first one we didn't even get a look at. And here's the filly coming in the ring. And we watched her in the back ring, just as gorgeous as can be. And I said to Steve and Rob and Amy, I said, no shot. 320. We got it for 100. And even those gentlemen, you know, and I'm sure there's nothing worse than having somebody tell you they would have happily paid a lot more for what you just sold them. But they understand the game, right? They end up, he told me that they were going to go to 700. So they're not hurting for money, by the way. They were going to go to 700 on Mission Brief's sister, and they got, luckily for them, they got a discount and got her for a cool $500,000. Wow. So, we got the horses we wanted, right? A variation, right? A little bit different last night, but they all fell into what we're trying to do. Now, I have a couple little announcements to make about what we're going to do. The New York filly, Cutie Cumber. I've had a couple of people message me concerned about the New York angle, and I told everybody we could do this. I'm going to make it simple for everybody. We're just going to take Cutie Cumber aside from the partnerships. I've already had a lot of people ask about her, and partnership people saying, where are you going to put her? Because I don't, you know, New York, I hate New York. And that's your fault, New York. That's not mine. It's not my fault. And it's not your fault. It's up to New York. It's up to them to fix this issue. Not us, not you, not me, them. We had a lot of fun in New York this year with Bomb Hugger. A lot of fun. But a lot of our clients are a little hesitant. There's some trepidation there. So, I'm going to make it simple for everybody so no one has any stressful concerns. I'm going to take Cutie Cumber out. For the people in the partnerships that maybe wanted to stay involved and get into her, no problem. I'm going to keep half of those shares aside for the next few days or whatever, and she'll sell out quick. She is a gorgeous filly. I had an option to either go do a video of her before she left for Ontario or go see this horse. I chose this horse, and I'm pretty sure you're going to want me to too. So that's what we did this morning. Cutie Cumber and the other ones are on their way to Ontario. You'll see them all very, very soon. I can tell you right now, they are all gorgeous. Very good looking. Yes, we paid good money for them. I would say below fair market value. And as I say that, you hear that little hesitation in my voice because the insanity that happens in Lexington is not fair market, right? I can't judge what we bought them on Lexington terms. I have to look at the horses and say, even the filly out of I'm Pink too, we'll talk about her in a minute for a number of reasons. Well bought at $42,000. I thought. Talk about her in a minute. Pinkman's, so this would be her uncle we bought last night, on day one. No Tactical Landings. I think after you looked at day two, we did a pretty good job overall, didn't we? And I was just telling my father on the phone, maybe the steal of the wholesale, I believe, could have been number 98. What was that filly's name? Mounds? Tactical Mounds? Tactical Mounds. I'm going to tell you why. Tactical, keep it up. It's this one right here, is it? No, we'll take it. You're shaking her hand. I'll be in here finishing my video. So, number 98, Tactical Mounts, $27,000. I thought that horse was way, way underpriced. Not for Lexington, not Tactical Landing. As an individual, as a horse, grossly underpriced, in my opinion. Beautiful, beautiful horse. So, we go and look at Tactical Mounts, and Sanina from Springhaven comes over and she goes, "You stole the horse." She goes, I told them the filly. So if you guys go back and look at last year's video, this is beautiful, Beauty of the Stable on our YouTube page. You can go back last year. I did a video of 7 Mounts. She was one of my top picks of the entire sale. I don't even know if we got her hand up. I knew she went for a lot. Amy told me $110,000. Sanina goes, and I said, "Whatever happened?"
Look at the babies.
Yeah, little babies. And I said, "Whatever happened with the 7 Mounts?" Because she didn't race this year. She goes, "Yeah, that horse was bought by Europeans and exported to Sweden, and it's not in the catalog."
Poultice on.
Oh, really?
Babies and poultice on.
Oh, that's cool. She goes, and The horse was exported. It was never going to race here. There's nothing there. It looks like the horse was just no good. The horse was exported to Europe. So there. We got tactical landings, tactical mounds for $27,000. Her sister was bought for $110 by Chapter 7. And this thing looks amazing. Bought her for $27. Her sister was $110. Bought by Europeans and exported to Sweden. So
Since we're late, I'm not going to do
I told her we'd stopped. You can go and see. I'm drinking mine, so you do what you want. What do you think?
that. Yep. Yeah, thanks.
So the tactical mounds I thought was great. So just little things like that, tactical mounds, and then I told you guys there was ways around Lexington, right? And one of the ways around are smaller consignments, right? Alarm Detector Sister from Concord. Now Concord is a strong consignment in Harrisburg, but in Lexington they only had 5-6 horses. Now they put them way on the other side of the property. There's not enough foot traffic there. Then, by the time you go there, you're tired, you mark the horse, you walk around, you go back somewhere else and look at another horse, another horse, another horse. I really think there's a mistake made with Alarm Detector Sister, horn blower. There was a mistake made there, not by us. We were very fortunate to get that horse, but I guess all this will come out next summer, right? Doesn't matter what I say or what we talk about. None of it matters. How they train down, they stay healthy, they stay sound, they qualify well, they get a good opportunity, and then they get a good drive. If all that happens, hey, I was right. And that's really how buying horses is. So when we look at what took place yesterday, I was so happy with everything we did. Now I already talked to you guys about those horses. I want to talk to you about yesterday. A couple of interesting facts. So we'll start with the pacer. Some people say, why a pacer? Well, of course, we have people that like pacers. And yes, I believe buying pacers is like throwing a dart at a board. Because, and I was talking to the gentleman, the Bylers, this morning about the same thing. They had bought an expensive Captain Treacherous and sold one also. And I said, I guess you got to buy a Captain Treacherous or a Sweet Lou or something of that nature. I said, secondly, if you got a 2-year-old that can pace in 51, hey, good for you. You got a 2-year-old that can pace in 50, you get a nice horse. Nowadays, you got to have a 2-year-old and pace in 49 for people to start talking about your horse. And that's really about it. Think about all the horses and all those stake races. All those 2-year-olds that paced 50, 51, 52, finished 6th and 7th behind the good ones. Don't make any money and nobody hears from them. So, it's really feast or famine from my point of view in the pacing ranks. And we got a Captain Treacherous that I liked. I looked at the horse. I thought he was okay. His name's Captain in the Air. So let me give you a little backstory on Captain in the Air. His brother last year was a smaller horse. I went back and looked at him also, his video and whatnot. His brother last year was a smaller horse. Good-looking horse, but a smaller horse than this colt. He went for $55,000. Tony Alani bought him. Now, the one before that was an Art Speak. Somebody in Ohio bought it. So when you look at this pedigree, you have a Captain Treacherous, and he's qualified twice in 56, come 26 and 27. Then he made 2 breaks, one in Lexington and the other one I don't know where. But it looks like a very fast colt from what I can see. The Art Speak, I'm sorry, Pitch the Art Speak. That's the second one. The second dam, Unsolved Mysteries, was bred to Mach 3, horse named Secrecy. Took a mark of 51 and 2 as a 3-year-old, 53 and 4 as a 2-year-old. It's important. Now, we just talked about how fast you have to be, but you have to have a useful horse also. So, Secrecy took a 2-year-old mark of 53 and 4, mark of 51 and 2 as a 3-year-old, paced in 50 and 3, $250,000 made, and 17 wins. He also had a Racing Hill. Pay attention to this. A Racing Hill. I don't want to be negative towards people's horses, but she's not going to be a sire, in my opinion. Sorry. Babs Jansen took a 2-year-old mark of 53 flat. Probably has to be one of the fastest Racing Hills ever in the history of life. And then the other one was an Artistic Fella. Took a 2-year-old mark of 156. I saw all this 2-year-old stuff, and I made note of it. And again, you look in the third dam, Vertical Horizon, very good horse, mark of 50 on a 5/8, 49 on a 5/8, $856,000 made. Lost in Time, one of the nicest horses at his time. 2-year-old O'Brien Award-winning Colt of the Year. 2-year-old mark of 150-1. All 2-year-old speed, all up and down this page. But again, I'm thinking it's in Captain Treacherous. Yeah, it's a nice horse. I wasn't paying attention. I got the horses I wanted. I was having a couple of drinks. I was standing where I always am. And Sanina, the breeder, I can hear the horse selling. I'm not really paying attention. He's not on my radar. She walks over. Now they're talking about the horse, about what I'm just telling you about, maybe in a little less depth. He's a nice horse. He's this, he's that. Sanina walks over and says, "Hey, you're missing that colt." I said, "What colt?" She said, "The Captain Treacherous." She goes, "This horse should be in 3 times this." I said, "It's a pacer." And she goes, "Listen, it's up to you. You do what you want." She said, "But this is a nice horse, and it's worth a lot more than this." So she didn't have to do that. She knows that we buy value, so she's speaking in my terms. She understands that, but she didn't have to put her neck on the line. She didn't have to come over and say. She could have said, "Hey." No, she made a point to walk over during the horse is selling, while he's selling, to explain to me why she liked her horse. In fairness, she's very biased. It's her horse. But why she thought we should buy this horse. So I did. $27,000. I made comments of all this on here, but again, guys, you know this. I am biased when it comes to trotters. I'm going to buy some pacers for everybody because there are some pacers, some pacing people out there. And if you're one of those pacing people, buckle up, because a lot of people in our groups, wherever we drop this, whatever partnership we drop this horse in, there's going to be people selling shares of them. Maybe they shouldn't. I just gave you a lot of reasons why you shouldn't. This colt right here is a February 8th colt. Good to go. Great month. February 8th colt is fantastic. First dam had 2. One in Artspeak, pitch. Second one a Captain Treacherous, qualified in 56-26, 56-27, then made 2 breaks and they turned him out to mature. Lots of speed from that colt. This is the full brother for half of what they gave for him, and he's twice as big. Again, I am selling the horse, so. Second dam, all 2-year-old speed, 53 from a Racing Hill, probably the fastest one in the universe. 53-4 from the Mach 3, 17 wins, 253,000 made. And then if you really want to get clever, look down in the third dam. Just 2 horses that win in 49. One of them, the other one are paced in 48. 2-year-old Pacer of the Year and Lost in Time, and Vertical Horizon, who made 850. I can tell you reasons all day long why we should have bought this horse, and I'll be completely upfront with you. I was not buying this horse if it wasn't for Sanina walking over and saying, "Hey, you're missing a horse." Now, that's her job. She knows we bought horses. We bought horses from her in Ohio. We bought a horse from her the night before. I was literally 8 feet away from her. But she took the time to come over and remind me, "Hey, this is a horse that should be bringing a lot more than this." And it was. I had the horse marked at 40, only because I said, "Listen, the 2-year-old didn't wow anybody. I know you're telling me he's fast, and they turned him out fine. He didn't wow anybody, though. They give 55 for him. I think 40's fair market, whether he's big or smaller or not. 40's fair market. We got him for 27. That's how it went. Now, the one that I started the video about, the New York horse that we were going to take outside the partnerships. I think you guys need to pay close attention to this filly. Now, I'm going to be full disclosure right up front. Cutie Cumber is an embryo transplant colt. Now, I've had Tom Grossman and a number of veterinarians and breeding experts tell me there's no big deal, and I know there's no big deal. All right, and until you, the superstitious people out there with 0 facts other than "there's never been a good one," "oh, I know in vitro, but there's never been another one," probably because the people just raced the horses and didn't care that it was an embryo and didn't make a big deal about it afterwards. But until you can stand a scientist in front of me and tell me why an embryo transplant would mean any difference, I don't care. And further to that, I'm looking at the horse. I don't care that it's brown or it's black or that it's an embryo transplant. It was born in March or February. I'm looking at the horse. And I can tell you, number 156, Cutie Cumber, a beautiful, beautiful filly. And just by the way, help is on the way. We tried to buy 3 of them so far this year. The Indiana breds, one of the hottest sires in Indiana going into his first crop next year. This right here is his full sister. Chapter 7, New York bred, full sister to Help is on the way. And if that doesn't interest you anymore, more importantly, the trainer, Linda Toscano, of Help is on the way, who she made all the money with and sold, she's the one down there bidding against me. She was in, I think, at 48, and I got the horse for 50. When I saw her bidding, I just assumed we weren't going to get her, but I knew what I would pay for, which was 50, and I was going to 50. And we did, and we got her. So a beautiful, a big filly for a Chapter 7. Not too big, perfect. Perfect size filly. Everything I loved about her. The video was incredibly good, but herself, just as her presence as an individual, as an athlete, she looked incredible, and I could not be happier than I was when I got Cutie Cumber. She will be outside the group. She may be sold out very, very quickly, but for now, she's going to be outside the group. And the last one I got, now a little story behind this. Girls with Pink, you guys have told me, you heard me tell the story of I'm Pink 2. I'm Pink 2 was the first trotting filly ever to trot sub 150, and that was in Lexington, 149-4, made $400,000. The real story behind the horse is who originally bought her. Me. If you go back to the 2016 sale and look up I'm Pink 2, the purchaser of I'm Pink 2 was Anthony McDonald and Sugar Valley Farms. I gave the ticket to Joe McLeod after the sale because we bought a lot of horses. I got to my cap. This was a tiny little man of many missions at the time. Here you go, Joe. Yeah, $423,000. Thanks, Joe. By the way, Joe, I never got so much as a beer after that. You owe me at least one. Girls in Pink was small. I'm going to tell you something. I'm Pink 2 was a midget. Looked as big as our dog Cruz. Just was a Pinkman's sister by Man of Many Missions. We were in Ohio. We were going to race in Ohio. It made sense. This is a Muscle Hill out of I'm Pink 2, and she was small but gorgeous. I loved her too. She almost kicked the guy when he was walking her in the back ring. In the barn area, went to look at her. Beautiful filly. Now, I will tell you this much. If I get over my cap space, one of our clients that was with us, Steve, he breeds horses with Jeff Ruck. Nice people, both of them. They do a great job. Jeff does a great job breeding them, and Steve's always been a good friend and a good client. He's here with us today. They asked to buy the filly. They wanted to brace her, breed her. I think that Jeff maybe missed her, and I told them up front, listen, if we buy some PA breds that I really like and we're getting close to our cap, I got one on my radar today, I absolutely, positively want, if we get that horse, I could potentially turn this filly over. And before you say, please, Anthony, don't, I'm going to if we need the cap space and they still want her. So I love this filly. I don't need to tell you anything more about her. She's a Muscle Hill, first foal out of a world champion, first trotter ever, 3-year-old trotting filly ever to go faster than 150 was I'm Pink 2. She's a really, really nice filly, but she is small, not shockingly. Kentucky and New Jersey eligible. I can give you 100 reasons why we're going to keep her, and I can give you 100 reasons why we might turn her over to them, but at the end of the day, that'll be my decision after today or tomorrow. So, I am here at this farm right now, Copper Hat Creek, I don't know, Copper something. Here looking at a sister to a horse that we had. I'm not telling you who. You're going to have to wait. I'll tell you it's a Stay Hungry. How's that? So, out here in the middle of nowhere, outside of Paris, Kentucky, looking at horses. Going to look at this filly right now, then head back to the sale, catch up with Steve, get a little lunch, and look at some more horses today. So, I think it's been a resounding success. Obviously, I'm not going to come on here and say, listen, guys, I screwed up. I did terrible. I don't know. We're gonna know next summer, but I defy anybody to tell me at one juncture in this sale that we haven't done a good job. We found some value where it didn't appear there was any to be found, and I think we did it in the right places. So with that, I will cut this off, go in and look at a filly, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. I might even come back with a video of who we're looking at tonight. There's a ton we're looking at tonight. I'll be back at some point this afternoon to give you a little update. Take care.